Hey everybody, I know I said I wasn't going to do a week 10 video of our adoption class, but I wanted to go ahead and do it because we found out some information last night that I wanted to pass along to everybody. Like I said, it was a panel of people, mostly foster parents. They didn't get a judge or anyone else that they had tried to get, I guess. So there were 3 different sets of foster parents, and the supervisor at the Department of Social Services, like the foster care unit, and the supervisor of the people that teach the class. So, that was a little disappointing. I really would have hoped that they would have gotten somebody that did adoption only, so that we could have spoke to them about that, but they didn't, which really didn't surprise me because they don't really, push the ability to just adopt and not foster. So, whatever. Like I said, it didn't surprise me. It's very frustrating, and I think that to somebody who, I kind of feel like this is something we really want to do, and I just feel like it should be easier than it is. This is definitely something that Corky, stop it. Stop. That we've opened up our, mind to doing. It's definitely something we want to probably do more than once, depending on the circumstances. Corky, stop it. He's growling at the mailman. But it's just so frustrating that they really don't support it. So we were told who our home finder was last night, and it is the person that we probably would have picked out of the people there. I think it's the person that's probably not going to push us into fostering. I think they're going to accept the fact that we want to adopt, but I don't know as if they're going to help us at all. When we told him last night that we strictly wanted freed kids that were freed for adoption, younger kids, like toddlers, or we haven't really picked our age yet, but my husband wants under 5. I think maybe like 7, but we have to, decide that. And he said, well, for that, you'd really want to just go online to the websites. There's profiles. Then what you do is contact that agency. That agency will contact us for your home study, and we'll work it out amongst whoever. And I just feel like they should help a little bit with that process. Like, he didn't say what website. I know that before, when we had, begun to look into everything, there were some profiles. I think, like, on the New York State, there's, like, I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll have to actually go back probably and watch one of my videos because I think it was in there. But we'll have to basically do the search on our own, and I guess that's okay. We're going to hopefully stick this out. It's just so frustrating that I remember way back when I had requested all the information, we initially started talking about this, and I requested information from Wendy's Wonderful Kids, and they gave some, and I think it's in one of my videos, they gave some statistics about how many kids are in, that have been freed for adoption, that are totally freed, needing homes. And, the average age of those kids is 8 years old or 9 years old. It was, a young age. And I'm just wondering, where are the kids? Why isn't it something that's presented to us so that we could help, It's just so frustrating, and I don't know if it's that way all over, if people experience these same kinds of problems that they're really pushing to foster, or if it's just in our area. I don't know exactly what it is. I think part of the problem is that the agency that runs this class now is a children's home agency. Like, they have like children's homes and right in the agency, so I think they push fostering because it would help out their agency, you know what I mean? It's just frustrating, but, we have a little bit more of an idea of what happens next, and I guess if we end up just doing some stuff on our own, then we end up doing some stuff on our own. Hopefully along the way, we can figure it out. We also got matched up with a mentor last night, which I rolled my eyes because my husband said, because they read off the names, they gave you the name because the mentor is supposed to be calling you, and the girl goes, oh, I wish I'd have known that she was your mentor because she was here. And my husband says, that's that woman. And the whole thing was, this woman's really pushed fostering. She's like, I don't think anyone should adopt because, or not that you shouldn't adopt, But I don't think anyone should just adopt, because fostering is like getting your feet wet and you get to know the kids and blah, 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 blah. Which, it's not like when you adopt, they come drop a kid off at your door and say, here's the papers, sign them. That's not how it works. A kid that's freed for adoption still has a waiting period until you can adopt them. So you have a period of getting to know them. And she was talking about, how traumatic it can be for a child if you come in, they're not what you expect, and you ask them to leave. It's just as traumatic if you're fostering them and that happens. I mean, what is the difference? If a kid comes into your home and you don't like them and you tell them to leave, I mean, I'm thinking that's pretty traumatic for any kid, regardless of the circumstances. I don't know. It's frustrating, but she's our mentor nonetheless. And I told Paul, I said, let's not, whatever, maybe she can, she's adopted kids that she's fostered, so I'm sure that she can help us understand what's involved in the actual process of adoption. But as far as finding kids to adopt, she's not going to be of any help, and I'm definitely not going to stand for her pushing fostering on us. I mean, that's definitely not going to happen. But all in all, we left there feeling pretty positive, because I feel like we've accomplished something toward our goal. It's something we had to check off the list, whether we agreed with it or not. These classes have to be done. So I feel pretty positive about that. The next step, basically, and I don't know why they didn't explain any of this, and maybe I don't know. But anyhow, the next step that's going to happen is our home finder is going on vacation, because it's right near Thanksgiving time. That's understandable. When he gets back, he's going to send us out a stack of paperwork. We have to start filling it out for the background check and the fingerprinting, because I guess that takes a long time. That doesn't surprise me. So we're going to do that. The other thing that is kind of worrying my husband is that they said last night, again, this is the first time we've ever heard this, they've never mentioned this before, is that for the background check, you need addresses. And they were actually arguing amongst themselves how far back you need to go. And, for most people, this isn't a problem. My parents lived in the same place, while I was growing up. And so for me, that's not a problem. You have to have months, years, and I don't think that's going to be a huge problem for me. For my husband, that poses a huge problem. When he was a child, they moved around every 6 months. They never stayed in the same place. And the one woman was telling him, my husband's 38, and one of the workers were saying, well, you only need to go back as far as there's a record, till you got your driver's license. He got his driver's license when he was 18, so he should be okay. But then the other woman came over and said, no, I think you're going to need to go back further than that. Well, good luck, because no one's going to have that information. And it's not like he grew up in a great household where he could just call up his mom and be like, hey, where do we live? What was our address? It doesn't work that way in his family. But that's a whole another story. So she said, we absolutely cannot move forward without this. So maybe that will be the end of it. I mean, if he doesn't have the information, he doesn't have it. It's that simple. I don't know. Again, I just kind of feel like maybe that's something that should have been gone over, that we could have been working on this entire time. And if we didn't have that information, then we wouldn't have wasted our time. I mean, it's not like if the information is not there, I mean, pretty much the way it's going to work, what he remembers is what he's going to have. And what he doesn't, he can't pull from somewhere. There's his family is just not functional enough to have that information. And they have to understand that. Again, something else that's very frustrating. But, I told him, again, don't worry about it. There's no point in, picking out a problem before it exists. So, we're hoping it just goes back. And like I told him, I really don't know how, I don't know how it'll work. I don't know how they can, I don't know how they could expect someone like that had such issues in childhood to have that information. I mean, it didn't work that way. So anyhow, so we have to start compiling that information. Hopefully he'll be able to get it basically for the last 20 years. That'll put him back to 18. We do have to start working on, they want you to write a letter to the biological parents. So I have to start working on that, and I think our letter is going to be a little bit different than some of the other people, because some of the other people, are fostering. So obviously it's going to be different to write a letter to people that you're just temporarily having their child versus somebody that, you're adopting them permanently. We also have to work on, I forget exactly what they call a life book, I think, where we show like our house, and we show the different rooms in our house and things like, print out pictures or whatever, and just kind of explain them what their environment will be like and the different people that they'll be around. So I'm actually looking forward to that. That'll be fun. I'm going to start that here shortly. What else? And then, he comes out for the home study and everything. Again, didn't really talk about that last night. This is the guy, though, the guy that's going to be your home finder is the guy that said don't worry about the bedrooms being done, that he would come out, do the entire home study, and then when the bedrooms are done, just basically add those in. So that was good. So that's pretty much it. We have signed up to do a sexual abuse class in the spring, which we're not totally convinced that we want to do. Not sure. I think they said they didn't really clarify whether or not it's required for adoptive parents. I mean, it definitely can't hurt. I mean, it's definitely, I'm somebody that likes all education I can get, and it's something I think just as, being considerate to other human beings, it's something that definitely cannot hurt to have more sympathy and compassion for people that have gone through that, whether they're people we have as children or not. So, just look at it as a learning experience, I guess. Anybody that has any questions or thoughts on anything regarding the classes now that we're done, we'd be happy to answer for you. Other than that, I'll give you an update when we get more information or the paperwork in the mail or whatever happens next. All right, talk to you later. Bye.